Join me as I take you through the entire storyline of Metal Gear Solid. Snake is retired, but the threat of a nuclear weapon has brought him back into action. He is informed that a terrorist group, Foxhound, led by Liquid Snake, has seized control of a nuclear weapon on Shadow Moses Island. They demand the remains of Big Boss, and if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch the nuclear weapon. The Colonel gives Snake two mission objectives: rescue the Chief of DARPA, Donald Anderson, and the President of Arms Tech, Kenneth Baker. And secondly, Snake is to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to launch a strike and put a stop to them if they do. As Snake enters the island, he makes contact with the Colonel, informing him of the current situation, where to ride the elevator in the back without getting detected. But it's my YouTube channel, so let's get caught and start some wars.
What was that?
It's business as usual, slipping into the building in front of Snake unnoticed. Mei Ling also makes her presence known and starts to tell us the wonders of the radar and its limitations. Yeah, that's great and all. After this, we're free to do what Snake does best. Once making it inside, we get a call from our old buddy.
It's been a long time, Master.
Up ahead, as we crawl our way into the building, we overhear some of the guards talking about moving the Chief of DARPA into another cell. As Snake goes down the elevator, we get a call from Mei Ling. Now we know the location of the Chief. The Chief goes into what he and Baker were doing here in Shadow Moses, conducting research using a new type of weapon, a nuclear-equipped walking battle tank, codenamed Metal Gear Rex, and how it's now in the hands of Foxhound. Snake, while taking it all in, brings up safety measures, to which the Chief refers to as
PAL. Yes, of course, there is a PAL.
Set up with two passwords between the Chief and Baker, and Foxhound requires both passwords or there can be no launch. However, the Chief gave up his password because of Foxhound member Psycho Mantis being able to read his mind. While going over this, they wonder if Foxhound have retrieved Baker's password. At this point, the Chief starts to go over the override process with Snake and how it was designed by Baker's company. Even without the password from the Chief and Baker, Snake can use the override keys to stop the launch. But he's got to find all three keys to stop Metal Gear, and only Baker has them. The Chief informs Snake that he's being kept on a lower floor, hidden behind cemented walls.
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the PAL, have you? From your bosses or anyone?
No.
So does the White House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
That's their problem. It has nothing to do with my orders.
But what about the Pentagon?
Pentagon? Dead.
Of course, Snake after this is onto his only support group in this mission. Nobody can make sense of it, and even the Colonel seems to be holding out on Snake.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access to the file?
It's a complete mystery, except for Snake's next objective.
Get out of there and find President Baker.
Commotion can be heard outside the cell, and also after this, Snake's cell doors open too.
Don't move!
We get into it with another guard, but it turns out it's just another prisoner on this island. Before the two start to understand each other, the security door opens and a bunch of guards start rushing in. When the smoke settles from all the shooting, she bails and makes a run for the nearby elevator. Not long after this, some kind of hallucination occurs. Feels like Snake has entered another time and space. Yeah, of course the gang working remote's gonna hear about this. Foreboding to say the least, as things ended up getting pretty hectic here in the holding cells, from what seemed like a pretty straightforward objective in rescuing the Chief, turning into a bloody mess. As we make our way down the elevator, it's important to not be fooled by the downtime here, as the floors will take Snake and exchange him for a game over screen. As Snake heads into the back of this area, we can spot the walls looking different, just like the Chief mentioned before he escaped the Matrix. Snake attempts to make contact with Baker, but Snake ends up getting a surprise from another Foxhound member that jumps out to test Snake. Shortly after this, we enter a deadly gunfight. Yeah, I had no doubt in Snake's ability either, as we get the thumbs up from Ocelot.
You're pretty good.
Immediately after this, we're saved by the katana, as we witness an invisible blade rip through Ocelot's arm and the wires holding Baker captive. This of course lets off the C4, sending the Foxhound member plunging into the wall. As the wounded Ocelot flees with his severed hand, Snake's still in this mess as we can see him point his gun towards the mysterious ninja. He briefly speaks to Snake before he screams and flees the scene. After this, Snake can pick up what's left of Baker and hopefully we can tick another objective off Snake's list. Straight to business, no time for biscuits and tea, even though Baker could really use one after what he's been through. Baker at this point brings up the Pentagon and a name to go with it, but it seems to go over Snake's head as his priorities lie elsewhere. The situation seems hopeless.
What about your code? There's no time.
I talked.
What? This is bad. Now the terrorists have both codes and can launch any time.
Baker does drop gems on how to bypass Psycho Mantis and his trickery. You just gotta get some implants in your brain.
No thanks, bro.
Which leaves the player wondering how Mantis even got the Chief's codes.
But the DARPA chief said Mantis got his code by reading his mind.
Are you sure you heard him right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
After this, Baker brings up the Chief from earlier.
DARPA chief, is he okay?
Dead.
What? Can't be.
Yeah, he doesn't take it so well. Both Snake and Baker have no idea how things are gonna go down. Now Liquid and his boys have the codes and are ready to launch. Which is when Snake brings up the PAL cards, the emergency override needed to stop the launch. Thing is though, Baker and the implants in his brain came up with an ingenious idea of offloading the keys to someone else on this island. Snake then works out that Roy's niece has the keys, that rookie prisoner with the shaky hands from earlier.
What frequency was she at?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, it's... Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Damn!
So it's up to us to track it down and give her a call. So with our next objective set up and ready to go, all we gotta do is get the president of Arms Tech to a safe location. After Baker drops us the data disk containing the research of this project with Metal Gear.
What kind of data?
All the data collected from this exercise. Don't play dumb. I know you were sent to get this. I hid it from that sadistic maniac while he was torturing me. Make sure you report this to Jim. To your boss.
Can you walk?
No. No, you go on without me. They got my password. They don't want anything else from me.
I have one more question. Who or what was that ninja thing? It looked like you knew something.
That ninja? That was Foxhound's dark little secret.
Dark little secret?
An experimental genome soldier.
Yeah, the strange sequence with the Chief from earlier in the holding cells comes back full force to haunt Baker.
What the hell?
Time for another call to our crew. Typical as the roadblock from Roy appears, so does the next objective, in case you forgot from that long conversation with Baker. Down here we're unable to make contact with Colonel's niece because of all the interference around us. As we backtrack out of here, it's business as usual, grabbing supplies and trying not to fall victim to those trapdoors. Riding up the first floor of this base, Snake gets to work on contacting the prisoner from before. Snake, playing it cool, keeps his mind on business as the two work out a plan to link up.
This base is owned and operated by a dummy corporation of Arms Tech for the development of Metal Gear.
Colonel.
Foxhound and the Next Generation Special Forces were called here for the test launching of a dummy nuclear warhead.
Why Foxhound?
Because they're a special ops group used to handling top secret missions.
That's when he gave you the detonation code override keys, right?
That's right.
We also get a heads up on what's next. An airlock door full of poisonous gas. Oh joy. If you don't dodge those invisible lasers... After this, we make our way to the next building, but as you know, nothing is that straightforward.
Snake, be careful.
Snake ends up getting ambushed as he finds himself between a tank and a hard place. The trick is to dodge the cannon, which can only be fired at a distance from Raven. Once you close this gap, he can get in close and start raining down explosives till the tank goes up in flames. Snake, unfazed by all this, casually rolls up on the guard, does what he wants, and continues to move forward. Clearly the man for the job, because as soon as my mind registers the tank in the distance, I would run in the opposite direction. There's also a scene with Raven still in one piece. Seems like he wanted Snake to get that card on purpose so that he can progress further.
We'll play with him a little longer.
You would be wise not to underestimate him.
What did you think of him?
He is just as you said. In battle, he is as if possessed by a demon.
As we make our way in, Roy and Naomi inform Snake of the dangers of using weapons around the scattered warheads. So for this part, it's best not to get caught, otherwise it's the airlock chamber from before all over again. As we reach the lower floors, once again things are not as straightforward as Snake would like them to be. The floors are electrified and there's no way to progress further unless you want to see what cooked Snake looks like. Once we obtain the weapon from the upper floor, we can fire off this puppy to put a stop to the grill on the floor, ready to cook Snake. So anyways, let me tell you about the ways of Mero being a rookie. On second thought, the story's gonna have to wait as I lean up against the wall in caution, peeking through the door to see what's up ahead. The stench of defeat isn't the only thing present here as our ears adjust to the audio. Making our way down the hallway of doom reveals the cause of all this. It's that ninja we saw from earlier. There's nothing really Snake can do to stop the nerd from as the ninja stares at him with a sharp blade in his hand. Snake and the nerd are not able to work out what the mysterious ninja wants, but in the next scene he makes it very clear.
A fight to the death with you. Only in that can my soul find respite. I will kill you, or you will kill me. I felt that, Snake.
It turns out this ninja that Snake has been fighting with is Grey Fox, an old acquaintance from Zanzibar. He starts to lose it and flees the lab. Snake right after this jumps on a codec call. Surprising to know that Naomi seems awfully informed on Grey Fox.
They fitted him with a prototype exoskeleton and kept him drugged for 4 years while they experimented on him like a plaything. Today's genome soldiers were born from those experiments.
That's the sickest thing I ever heard.
They used him to test all sorts of gene therapy techniques.
Naomi, why didn't you tell us about this sooner?
Because it's confidential information.
Is that the only reason?
After this, we can tick fighting Grey Fox off the list, freeing up our schedule for Snake to finally make contact with the engineer hiding in the lockers. Snake, being all about the business, continues to ask about Metal Gear.
What's Metal Gear really designed for?
It's designed to shoot down nuclear missiles, only for defensive purposes, of course.
Fire!
Things get a little heated as Otacon has no idea on what's going on here. Snake then inquires about the location of Metal Gear and the emergency override system's location.
That's enough crying. Pull yourself together. Where is Metal Gear?
Rex is in the underground maintenance base,
Where's that?
north of the communications tower, but it's a long way there.
The emergency override system for the detonation code is there too?
Yeah, in the maintenance base control room. I'll show you the way.
On that leg of yours, you'll just slow me down.
You'll need me if you're gonna destroy Rex.
I don't need you. I just need your brain. I want you to hide somewhere and keep me informed. You know this place well, don't you?
Of course I do.
So the new plans to link up with Meryl as Baker handed her the keys needed to override Metal Gear. And here's how that codec conversation goes.
Where are you now?
Very close.
There she is!
Damn, they've spotted me.
Meryl, what happened?
Wow, it seems Meryl's in trouble and needs help, but did you know Otacon is into anime? The game then shows off a clip of police notes as Hal goes on about anime and mechs. With the plan set in motion, as Snake's health increases, we can get out of here and make our way to the upper floor with Meryl. The coast is pretty much clear. All we gotta do is make contact with Meryl. Once Snake enters the ladies' bathroom, we enter a cutscene with Meryl getting the drop on Snake. It's one thing after another as Snake learns Baker only handed her a single key instead of 3.
Where are the others? There should be 3 keys.
This is all I've got.
Where could the other 2 be?
Meryl, being as stubborn as before, pleads with Snake to let her go with him as she's more familiar with this facility and feels she won't slow things down or get in Snake's way.
Got it. I'll be careful.
So the two link up and head to Metal Gear's location towards the communications tower. The hymn playing in the background from before is exchanged for silence, and also the guards patrolling this area have also disappeared.
What? What is it?
Adding to the anxiety and this foreboding feeling. This comes into play when just up ahead, Meryl's in trouble. I guess Snake knows his stuff as he mentioned this very situation from earlier.
What's wrong?
Don't come here, Snake!
Her behavior continues long enough for Snake to realize that something's wrong with her. Another Foxhound member appears and stands in our way. Mantis, being a master in reading and controlling minds, puts Snake in an awkward space as he has to take on Meryl. Switching controller ports, dodging the floating paintings getting thrown at Snake, a couple of Hideo black screens later,
Stop! Meryl!
and... After the showdown, Snake's in a hurry to check in with the crew.
But why did you go so far out of your way to save her?
I don't want to see any woman die right in front of me.
Since when did anybody's death bother you so much?
Naomi, it's true that Snake has killed a lot of people, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a heart.
It's okay, Colonel. She's right.
Mantis, after being beaten, lays out his own thoughts and even Meryl's.
You're the same as us. We have no past, no future. We live in the moment. That's our only purpose. Her mind as well. Meryl's? I saw you there. You have a large place in your heart. A large place? But I do not know if your futures lie together.
He opens a path for the duo to continue making their way towards the communications tower as a final act of redemption for the sins Mantis has committed in his lifetime. Snake, being in a hurry to move forward, ends up schooling the rookie.
Meryl?
How could I let Mantis control my mind like that?
If you're gonna doubt yourself, I'll leave you here.
You're right. I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
Snake takes a back seat as Meryl shows off how much she knows about the upcoming areas. The wolves are definitely Snake's enemy as it's beef mode on site. Meryl though seems to have a much easier time as she once again shows off.
Snake, what's wrong? I thought you were good with dogs.
Up ahead reveals the ominous communications tower. Once Snake catches up with Meryl, a cutscene plays showing Snake alerting Meryl about a laser targeting her. This puts Snake in a tough position as he's unable to just jump out and rescue her. The crew's upset and Snake has no way of taking on the Foxhound member without a sniper rifle of his own.
Colonel, take it easy. What's wrong, Naomi?
You got the genes of a soldier, not a savior.
You trying to say that I'm only interested in saving my own skin?
I wouldn't go that far, but
I'm gonna save Meryl for myself. Colonel, don't worry.
Snake, thanks.
I understand. I'm sorry.
So the new plan is to ditch Meryl as she bleeds out helplessly.
Get out of here, Snake!
We need to backtrack all the way into the building where Baker and the chief of DARPA were being held. I know it's a long way back, so there's plenty of time to feel for Snake in this stressful situation. After picking up the weapon needed to take on Sniper Wolf, we also get a call from Roy urging us to get back to Merrill, a further reminder of the current situation Snake's in. Heading back is pretty straightforward as long as you don't get caught and maintain a low profile. Once Snake makes his way back to Merrill, we notice she's no longer here. She's now in the hands of Foxhound. Snake needs to put this in the back of his mind as he focuses on taking on the sniper. Once she's been defeated, we can run up ahead and advance the story. Stepping up to where Snake put a stop to her reveals a blood trail leading to a door nearby. However, Wolf ends up getting the drop on Snake with her 2 guards beside her. As you can imagine, things aren't going to pan out the way Snake wants them to.
Do you want to die now? Or after your female friend? Which will it be?
I'll die after I kill you.
Is that right? Well, at least you've got spirit.
Snake winds up getting captured in his pursuit of taking on Sniper Wolf and freeing Merrill.
I am a rookie after all.
Don't worry, Merrill, it's me they want.
Snake is trapped and not going anywhere. From what we can see, it seems like Liquid is confident in telling Snake his plans.
Normally the Americans are the first ones to the negotiating table. They must think they've got something up their sleeves.
So it's come down to it, has it? We're going to launch that nuke.
Make of this situation what you will, as there's no time to dwell on this while Snake starts asking about Metal Gear.
Metal Gear is armed with a new type of nuclear warhead, huh?
Why don't you go ask Campbell for the full story?
The Colonel.
Ocelot also brings up the PAL override and the keys from Baker, before going in on Snake.
How did you like that?
While he's recovering, he notices he's not alone.
The DARPA chief?
Snake then jumps on a codec call and goes over the messed up predicament he's in. Things get more heated when Roy confirms they won't be giving in to Liquid's demand.
I'm sorry about Merrill, but I want the lies to end now.
What are you talking about?
Metal Gear was designed to launch a new type of nuclear warhead, wasn't it? You knew it all along, didn't you?
Snake, after he wishes hell on Roy, brings up the chief. He gets the vibe he's been here for a couple of days, and on top of that, all the blood in his body has been drained. Snake informs Roy about Liquid getting both Baker and the chief's codes, further going into preventative measures.
It seems that there's some type of emergency override device that can cancel out the detonation code. It's a countermeasure that Arms Tech installed secretly. You have to unlock it with 3 special card keys.
Roy, since the start of this mission, as usual, lays it all on Snake's lap. While the plan to bust out of here is set in stone, the Colonel also wants Snake to rescue Merrill, which means putting up with more of Ocelot's bogus talk and pointless torture on Snake. Snake in this situation can call Otacon to arrange for escape a lot quicker.
I'm here!
Where?
After Snake gets done politely asking for Otacon's help, he drops off some useful rations for Snake and tells us all about the wonders and beauty of Sniper Wolf.
She likes dogs. She must be a good person. Please don't hurt her.
Wake up, you idiot. She's the one who shot Merrill.
Snake, being a man of passion, doesn't agree with him on this one. Next up, it's no surprise Otacon denies the request from Snake. He tells him to put a whooping on the guard nearby and swipe the key.
Give me a break. I'm no soldier. I can't take anybody out.
The last thing on Snake's mind is if Otacon has another episode like before. So it's up to us on getting creative on the escape plan.